So, Chris, you know that I'm a grad student at Indiana Wesleyan University, and for one of my classes that for my internships, I have to do recorded sessions with clients. You have filled out 2 consent forms saying that you give me permission for me to do that.
Yes.
Just so you know that the only people that will see this is me and my supervisor if I deem necessary that they need to see it. Is that okay with you?
That's fine. Good on me.
All right. So we won't be putting it on the internet.
Darn. Okay.
So tell me about your week, Chris.
It's been going okay. I don't know if past, 4 or 5 days. I want to talk to you about this definitely today too. I've seemed to have more of like a flat affect.
Okay.
More, I wouldn't call it anhedonia or anything like that. But yeah, it's just haven't been really getting. I know I've been trying to keep my emotions at a baseline level, because I found just for myself, if I get too amped up about something or excited about something or too down about something, it's not good for me. It starts letting me spend too much.
Yeah.
So it's hard, exactly. I start like, oh yeah, hey, I feel great, things are going great, and all of a sudden, boom, hey, let's have a drink.
Yeah.
Or, fuck, this isn't going great, and blah, 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 fuck it, have a drink. So I don't know if I'm pushing too much as far as like not trying to feel my emotions right now. I mean, I am, but it's just, it's a weird, I haven't had a feeling like this in quite a while, and I've talked to my girlfriend about it. And because I told her, I was like, I don't want you thinking that I'm not excited about being with you or going shopping or not having a good time being around you. I am. It's just, I'm just feeling kind of.
Are you anxious about anything?
No, I do have obviously I have a court case coming up here in March 8th, and I do have some other things coming up. I did find out that this accident that I had with a rental car, my personal insurance isn't going to do anything with it. What they call the DRU, damage recovery unit from the rental car company, called me last Friday, left me a message. So I tried to call them yesterday, left her a message. I told Eric, hey, listen, I may be getting a phone call from this person. I'm just putting my phone up here in case it comes. So just letting you know, because I don't want to play phone tag with them. Plus the unemployment insurance, individuals, they've been contacting me, needing more information about the claims that I've put in, but the guy did send me an email yesterday about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if this subconsciously, these things piling up is making me just like, whatever.
I think that might be part of it. I mean, you're worrying about all this stuff, and then you're not showing any kind of emotion because you don't. Maybe it's because you don't want to feel those emotions, because your emotions may lead you to other directions.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. It's a good possibility. At least I'm talking about it. Because before I wouldn't talk about it and just sit there.
And you've been talking to Tina about this.
Yeah, I've been talking to Tina about it. I've talked to my folks about it.
So you're identifying it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm identifying it, and I think about it, but I'm not sitting in it and ruminating like I normally would. You know, I would sit there and just continue to think about this possibility, think about that, think about, okay, this and that, and then things would start spinning. Well, that's what I used to do,
Okay. All
but
right.
no.
Okay.
And that's why I said, you know, okay, it's like, well, the only thing I can do right now is make this phone call. Call the insurance or the DRU individual, say, hey, listen, here's what my insurance company told me. Here's where I am right now.
Okay.
Here's where, at a recovery center right now. I'm not working full-time anywhere right now. You know, I do have a potential PRN gig, but I have no income coming in. What can we do? What are we going to do?
So when you told me about when we seen each other last week, you was telling me about how when you went home, first day you went home, you kind of had this anxious feeling.
Yeah, when I went out shopping
Yeah.
and out in public and all that, yeah. Yeah.
So you talked to Tina about it and you started feeling better.
Mhm.
What have you done in the past week? Have you been going to meetings?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been, let's see, right now I'm doing Monday nights, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. Last Friday, Tina and I went to see a movie.
Okay.
And then Saturday afternoon, I did a meeting in the afternoon instead of the evening.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's when Kevin and I got together and
Yeah, you did tell me you got a sponsor yesterday. Congratulations, bud.
Thanks, yeah. So yeah, so Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening, took my dad out for his birthday dinner.
Okay.
And then Sunday, ended up doing church in the morning and chores in the afternoon, back over to my folks' house, saw my godmother, whose birthday was Sunday. She came down from Fort Wayne and just kind of hung out and spent time with her, and then meeting last night. So yeah, so
Has Tina been going to any of them with you?
she will go. She's been going to the Wednesday and Thursdays, and then she wants to go to the Saturday evenings. But
The speaker meeting?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. She's like, yeah, I like to go to the meetings that I just don't have to say anything. I'm like, you don't have to say anything anyway. You know, you can go to any meeting you want.
Yeah.
So yeah, so last night she didn't go to the open discussion meeting that we had at FOH. And then obviously tonight she will not, since it's an in-house type meeting here, she's actually gonna go get her nails done.
So you're going to meetings, you have a sponsor, you're talking to her when you need to. What else are you doing? I mean, because you say you're having this, you feel that you're having this slight effect. What do you think you're not doing?
I don't know. Yeah, I can't identify anything that I'm not doing
Okay.
that I should be, that I should be doing. I don't know. I well, honestly really don't know. So I don't,
Okay, so let me ask you this: when you get in these when you feel these certain emotions that you're not wanting to express, are you wanting to? Is any kind of urges or cravings going?
no, I haven't had any urges or any cravings or any thoughts.
Okay.
Usually with me, it's a pretty hard, kind of a jolt. Like, where the hell did that come from? But
Yeah.
no, I haven't had anything of that nature. So it's really odd. I don't know if it's. I don't know if I just let go of this a lot of stress, and I'm not used to it. And the only reason why I say that is, I work out, exercise. And I know kind of what my baseline measurements are, respiratory rate, heart rate, this and that. My resting heart rate's been down pretty consistently now for a week, down like 53, 54, just sitting around. I wake up in the morning and I get these heart rate alerts saying my heart rate's like 37 at night. So blood pressure's been doing fine. You know, it hasn't get dropped so low that, you know, get dizzy or anything like that. So I'm trying to keep all those things monitored. And so I thought my only I need to talk to Lindsay to see about my blood pressure medicine, to see if, or something medication wise, if there's something that needs to be tweaked on that end. But again, it's only been about a week that I've had these.
And what you're, like you said, you're doing everything that you need to do. I mean,
Yeah.
you're talking to Tina, which is very important to you
Oh yeah.
and to Tina, is make sure your guys' communication is open,
Mm-hmm.
that you don't hide anything from her, because you know that's an early relapse sign, is when you
Definitely.
start not communicating with her.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's just that you aren't used to not having stress.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's, you know your own body.
Yeah. It could be. Yeah, I have several things that I normally could be just stressed out as shit about right now. But it's like, well, court thing. The lawyers handle it. There's nothing I can do about it. It's going to be what it's going to be.
Have you been working at all, or are you not working at all?
Not right now.
That could be something, because you're used to working. I mean, as long as I've known you, that's what you do.
Oh yeah, it is all or nothing with work.
Yes.
It's like
And
10, 12 hours,
maybe-
easy.
maybe you have that sense of calm
Could be.
and you don't know what to do with it.
Could be. Yeah.
So what do you think would help you at this point? Maybe journaling?
Well,
I don't know. Are you open to that?
yeah, I mean, journaling, quite honestly, several weeks ago, well, I did show you the number of steps it takes to make a PB&J. It's a lot harder
Yes.
than it is to do the 12 steps. But that's one of the things that I had mulled around for quite a while is to write, which is odd because growing up, that was something I just despised, was writing. I think it was because obviously writing for schoolwork or writing technical papers or whatever, something
Yes.
that needed to be done instead of me choosing to do something just to,
So that was for like academic purposes.
academic purposes,
Work
and
purposes, stuff
research
like that.
purposes.
So
Work.
this is for recovery purposes.
Yeah. It's for creative.
For helping you become a better person.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I recommend that you maybe journal.
Yeah.
And something you may write down, you may want to say, Mike, let's talk about this.
Yeah.
And I know that, I don't know how you're feeling right now. I know that you're explaining to me that you're kind of been apathetic in the last few days, which,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, it's, like I said, I'm not, I'm kind of just, just not but just kind of, okay, it is what it is right now, and
so
I'm,
is it a bad thing?
no, when it first started, I thought it was.
Did it kind of like scare you maybe?
It scared me, and I felt like that I wasn't giving the kind of attention to Tina or getting, like okay, I should be doing something, I should be doing this, I should be, because that's kind of how I ran my life, because I should do that, I need to,
I think that that's the issue, is that you're not used to sitting. And I'm not saying that
yeah,
you're sitting around doing nothing. I'm saying that you're not working and going with all effort. And you're not used to that.
no, not at all. Not at all. Not a bad
Are,
thing.
are you going to be able to deal with it?
Yeah, I think I can. I think I will be. I, I guess in my mind, because things are getting done that need to be
Yes.
done. Laundry, chores, shopping, self-care, everything's getting completed. I'm not going above and beyond what I would be doing, But yeah, I at first thought I was being lazy. Because I wasn't,
Not
yeah,
being
I wasn't
you.
I wasn't being, quote unquote, Chris.
Yes.
Run around getting 10,000 things done before 10 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So it's not a bad thing.
no, it's just going to take
It's something that's going to take time to adjust to.
it's going to take time for me to adjust to it, and I think I'm realizing now that I kind of like it.
There's nothing wrong with liking it.
I know,
And you're still healing.
yeah, I kind of like it, and it just shows me that I don't need to bust my ass off like I used to, especially when it comes to work.
Yeah. Agreed. So, as we know that was one of your biggest issues, was how your work ethic was.
Well, yesterday in group, we we're talking about core values and how drinking affected them, and I was looking over mine that I wrote down, and the one that really got taken down quite a bit was honesty, and all the other ones I was looking at, I was like, you know what? I was being so dishonest that I was overdoing these other core values. Like communication, hard work. I was like, I was to hide how dishonest I was being.
Are these the same ones that we went over?
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly. So, like the hard work, dependability, helpfulness, and connection. Okay.
So we agreed that they were double-edged swords.
Exactly. And when the honesty won, I was like, yeah, okay. I just overcompensated so much for trying to hide up how dishonest I've been by not saying no, being over dependable, being overly hardworking, being overly this, being over that, so no one could find me out.
Mm-hmm. Good. Very good. So, yes, I would like you to start journaling, please.
Okay.
And then if anything comes up that you want to address, while you're writing, we can address it. Okay? What I assigned you last week?
You assigned me the fun task of going through all my cognitive distortions.
Did you identify with any of them?
No, not one. None of them. No, just doing the reading, identified, they went over 9 of them in the reading. I identified sometime looking back in my life of doing all 9.
Okay.
Some of them I starred and highlighted where it's like, yeah, these were some of the biggies and still kind of do fall into it.
Okay, well, let's go over all of them and then we'll go over the highlighted ones a little bit more.
Right. Well, the big one, or the first one was just the overgeneralization.
Okay.
This is something I have been working on quite a bit. Trying not to use absolutes like never and always, all the time. You know, no one, everyone.
So give me an example how you would overgeneralize.
Oh. You know, say, well, you know, I always mess up when I do this. You know, even though it's like the first time I've done it, like a technique like work,
Okay.
or a certain task around the house. You know, that I'm trying to figure out. I may not have done it may have never done it. You know, like electrical wiring or putting up a shower head or changing out the air filtration thing in the sink. You know, I would sit there and try to figure things out. And yeah, of course, you know, being me and not really reading manuals and this and that, because I can figure things out on my own. And if I mess up or screw up, then it's like, man, I always screw up when I do these things. Or, you know, yeah, or, you know, something like a promotion comes up, or, you know, just something for fun. You go into the store and there's like a little drawing. It's like, why should I put something in there? I never win anyway. You know.
So when you mess up, do you think that's kind of like goes back to dad?
Yeah, yeah, perfectionism.
Okay.
Yeah, and wanting to please and not see my dad get upset, even though I had nothing to do with him getting upset. You know, it wasn't me directly.
Yeah, because your dad's not there.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're doing at that time. How's he gonna find out?
Yeah, it's true.
Okay. What's the next one?
The other one was global labeling. Yeah. I used to do this a lot. I still sometimes, well, when I relapsed, I noticed I started doing this more, or at least feeling it. Because for me, it's more the feelings come before the actual verbiage. My body will start to feel it
Mm-hmm.
before the verbiage comes in my head. And by the time the verbiage comes in my head, my body's already revved up to say screw it. But it like, you know, I suck. I'm a failure. You know, I'm an idiot. I'm stupid. You know, a lot of I am negative statements. Just generalizing just one little thing, and I just turned it towards me and started using those statements.
So, just out of the first two, I see one common theme.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to dad.
Yeah.
I mean, and we've worked on that, and I've already seen the common theme
Good.
twice.
You got it.
You have to be perfect for dad.
Not be perfect. Perfect for dad. Also don't. Perfect for dad. Also be the perfect angel for mom. Don't want to tarnish the Marcus name. You know. Yeah. You know.
Okay.
I'm the baby of the family, older brother, highly academic, all A's, a few B's here and there. well-known baseball, basketball player, athlete, this and that. Oh boy, they got another son coming up 4 years younger. He's going to be better. He's going to be this. He's going to be that. Oh yeah. So there you go.
Yep.
Okay.
Number 3.
Filtering. Basically, the way I broke it down is hearing what I want to hear and looking for things that I feel like I need to associate with. Meaning, when I feel like shit, or for example, if I get received praise, I have a hard time taking it. You know, I try to deflect it, and I don't know why.
Because you like to self-criticize.
I do. And anytime I hear something negative, even though it may not be about me, I internalize it is about me.
Mm-hmm.
So I think anything, not everything, but things that are around me that not going right, not going correctly, it's me. It's because I focus on that problem.
And this is one that you highlighted.
Go ahead.
Let's talk about it a little bit longer. How can you adjust your thinking when it comes to filtering?
I need to just acknowledge something bad may have happened,
Okay.
but look at kind of the bright side or the positives. It's very similar to
You kind of said that like that's not the way I like to look at it.
well, it's very hard for me to do that.
I understand, but
Yeah,
the way you said it, look at the brights. I'm
Yeah.
like,
I know. But look at the positives and not necessarily the bright side. You know, rainbows and lollipops and unicorns, all that stuff. But look at the positives because typically there are, and this is again something I need to be actively practicing every day, and I'm trying to work on one thing each day, or in fact, it's something that I need to work on either each week or each month, every day. And I think a couple of these is going to be a lot more time and effort.
well, of course. I mean,
obviously,
you're not going to unlearn these.
Well, come on, I want it now.
Hey, we love
I know.
instant gratification
I know.
overnight. We mean it's going to take time for some of this stuff.
One of the I've seen this several times, and it was a couple days last week. It was one time last week. I thought of it for some reason, and then again I saw it on, because I do have, the only social media account I have is LinkedIn, and this is for business and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw it on LinkedIn. I'm like, oh my gosh, somebody's telling me something that, okay, maybe I do need to work a lot more on this filtering deal, because it was where they wrote the 1 + 1 is 2, 1 + 2 is 3, and they went through all the way 1 + 9 is 11. Okay, and that was the one mistake, and everybody pointed, hey, that's wrong. Well, they didn't acknowledge the other 9 that
Yeah, I've seen
was correct.
Yes.
So it's just kind of, it's like, okay, yeah, that's I just need to
focus on what you do right.
what I'm doing right and not hammer myself and accumulate all because again, I'm not perfect.
And again, everybody makes mistakes. We learn from them, and most of us go on from them. We don't stay in those mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think sometimes you do stay in those
Well,
mistakes.
I admit it. I stay in them.
Yeah.
I
So
stay in them, and then unfortunately, I stay in them I continue to spin my wheels and continue to make same mistakes when I stay in it instead of learning from it. I've noticed that.
So you're making the same mistake, or you're making other mistakes?
Other mistakes because I'm
Because you're
staying
staying
in that
in
one
that one,
instead of learning from it and
moving forward.
moving forward. Yeah. Getting my thinking clear up, obviously.
Yeah,
Because my mind's still here and
because you're too busy self-criticizing yourself.
well, that, and then I get to the point where I just freeze up because I don't want to make a mistake. So guess what? I'm just not going to do it. Because if I don't do it, I'm not going to make a mistake. That's where my thinking goes.
That's very illogical.
Exactly. I know. But there you go.
I know.
There you go.
I mean,
It's kind of like when I used to sit there and just drink at home. Yeah, that's what I like to do. Hey, I'm not bothering anybody. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not making any mistakes. I'm just sitting here drinking by myself. Just leave me alone. You know?
not bothering nobody, huh?
Exactly. I'm not bothering anybody. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm just sitting here watching TV, drinking.
So when you say that you won't do anything else, so if anything else comes up, you just
Isolate. It'll go away. Ignore it. Yeah, that's what I used to do.
how's that work out?
Oh, good. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, just look, all that stuff gets put on the back burner and just stays there and starts to boil over
Yeah,
eventually.
starts overwhelming you.
Mm-hmm. Poop pot gets too full, it tries to tamp it down, starts spilling over.
That's what we do.
So yeah, I will be working on looking more at the positive, and that's one of the great things about Tina, because that's what she does.
Just look at the positive
Oh, yeah.
side stuff.
Because I showed her that, I tried to show her how I look for negatives, and I did the whole math thing with her. I was like, what do you see? And she was like, numbers. I'm like, what do you see? And she was like, math. I'm like, what do you see? Addition? I'm like, no, don't you see a mistake right there? She was like, well, yeah, I saw it. But you just told me what you wanted me to see.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't see it. What? Okay, I get it. Like, not everybody's like me.
Oh, but she's also trying to be positive in all aspects of your life.
Yeah, well, I was like, have you ever seen this before? She was like, no, I've never seen anything like that before. I'm like, oh. So you just don't go straight to the negative? She was like, not all the time, no. You just asked me what I saw. You didn't ask me if anything in there was wrong. If you asked me that, then I would have said, yeah, there was one thing wrong.
Yeah.
Get it?
But at the same time, she probably would have said, but I see
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
9 that are right.
Mm-hmm. She would have.
All right, number 4.
4 is polarized thinking, black and white. Everything's absolute.
I agree with that.
Call it the engineering mind.
I agree with that with you.
Mm-hmm. Which is interesting. I do remember a time, a long time, I would live in the gray a lot. Meaning, could be this, could be that. This may happen, this may happen, this may happen. Do this, it could be this, this, and this. Do that, could be this, this, and this. Look from all different angles.
How'd you feel being in the gray?
I liked it because I could look at a bunch of different avenues
Okay.
and outcomes and, look at, and that Yeah, I mean, it just seemed normal for me. I mean, that's just what I used to do even when I was young, going through school and going playing sports and everything else. You know, a lot of other things. Just
So what changed it to the black and white?
I don't know. I think a lot of it turned to when I started to associate certain things in my life to things turn out like that. Like this happens, this is definitely going to happen. This is terrible. This happens, or this is pretty close to this. So yeah, we're going to go. It's going to happen. This is going to happen. That's usually the
So it goes along with all or nothing thinking too.
exactly.
So it's either bad or good.
Yep, bad or good. Exactly. And the pinpoint, pinpoint it. I think it was actually, obviously it's progression,
Mm-hmm.
but I think a lot of it came on closer to the end of my marriage, where Miriam was black and white woman. There was no possible this, possible that. Could be this, could be that. Let's do this, let's see how this works out, sort of thing.
Yeah, because divorce is kind of dramatic in a sense.
Yeah.
So it could change your way of thinking.
Yeah, just last few years of marriage, and then obviously going through a divorce, and yeah.
Is that did your marriage end before or after the partner?
After.
After?
Yeah.
So do you think that may have
Um,
started it?
no,
No?
no. It actually started a long time before that, I think. It started slowly progressing. It was after my son was born. So it happened probably within the first year or two of our marriage. And it just seemed like everything changed after my son was born. And I remember trying, and then it just seemed like I wasn't getting anywhere, so I just quit trying. And I should never, I shouldn't have quit trying. That's when I just threw my whole effort into my work and my kids. And not
In your relationship?
with my ex, no. Didn't even try.
So with polarized thinking, and also I would go with all or nothing thinking, I put them in the same category with you. How can you change that thinking?
Well, what I need to do is when there's a quote unquote fork in the road possibility, obviously I need to stop and not be reactive, because that's typically my first response is be reactive. And when I get reactive, then that's usually has a tendency to go towards, okay, this crappy thing is going to happen. For me right now, I need to do a pros cons list.
Okay.
I need to write this stuff out and not try to think about it. For me. And then I need to show it to somebody before a decision needs to be made. That's how I'm looking at things right now.
I think that's a good idea. I mean,
Now that I have Kevin as
Okay.
a sponsor, I can start practicing how I used to do it.
mhm.
Whether I get that back or not, I don't know. If I don't, then obviously get back to just, okay, this is the way it's going to need to be now. I just need to do pro con list.
So with the pros and cons list, you have a different perspective
Yeah.
that would be looking at it.
Different perspective, brainstorm.
Okay.
Those sort,
So
not being, not
What
saying.
if they don't agree with your list?
That's where the brainstorming comes into play.
Okay.
It's like, okay, well, what are your thoughts? What,
Tell me why you don't agree.
yeah, tell me why you don't agree. What's your way of looking at things? What's your,
Tell me why you agree. Because you know that everybody's not going to, if you show them that list, they're not going to always agree.
no, not at all.
Because until you are able to get that practicing and down pat, or whatever you want to say, that you are learning how to not look at it that way, it's going to always, when you do that pros and cons list, it's probably going to still have that same idea of black or white thinking.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, black and white, obviously, but there's other. If I do black and white, then it's also going to let me look at, okay, instead of going from here to here, what's in the middle? What can I do in the middle here?
Very good.
So,
Very
because
good.
yeah, I mean, pros and cons, yeah, the good and bad.
Okay.
I get that.
And you're still doing the same thing.
Yeah, no,
But I mean, I agree with you that making a list and letting somebody else see it
Mhm.
so they can, but is that going to make you feel like they're criticizing your thought process?
no.
You know how your thinking
Oh yeah,
goes.
no, I know how my thinking goes as far as, okay, yeah, I sit there and it's on my head thinking, okay, this guy's a fucking idiot.
Yes, exactly. That's why
Yeah.
that's why I'm trying to point all these things out to you, though.
No, and I agree. I mean, I'm glad you are. Yeah.
Okay.
Tia and I have had enough heated discussions.
Okay.
So, yeah, so you could practice for me on that.
Next one.
Self-blame.
And you don't do that at all. Do you?
No, I never apologize for anything. Never say I'm sorry, even, when I'm turning the corner and somebody's obviously getting ready to smack into me and they just keep walking. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Why do you think you do that? And I'm sure you see other people do that too. I say sorry for a lot of stuff that there's no sorry needed.
I think I think a lot of it's just self-learned from when I was young. Taking the blame. I felt like I needed to take the blame I felt like I was causing my mom or my dad to get mad,
Mm-hmm.
even though I didn't do anything, or I remember being little with friends over and they did something that they shouldn't have done, and I'd be the one to apologize for it. Like, oh, sorry, mom. Sorry, dad. So.
Do you think that your trauma when you was a child may have something to do with that too?
I think so.
Of course it does.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you probably blamed yourself for that.
Oh yeah. Definitely. Definitely blame myself for
That's
that.
probably where it started. I would probably venture to say that's where it started. And then being up to dad and trying to be perfect for dad and
Mm-hmm.
mom, and then not doing it, not getting something done on the baseball part or school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I think that's where it probably started. So how can you
A lot of this, the self-claim, what comes out of my mouth seems just to be reflexive. It just comes. So, I don't know. I don't know what mental tricks or what I can do to just. I don't know if I just really need to just shut off or shut down before I say a word.
I mean, you can actually think about before you say anything. I mean, does this really necessarily need a sorry?
Or stop what just happened.
Yeah. I mean, just all you gotta do is just rethink the thought
Mhm.
that you're gonna have before you do anything,
Okay.
and understand that. I mean, all these thoughts are. I think the biggest thing is you need to understand that you blaming yourself now is not going to help you at all. And it's been going on for how many years?
Yeah,
It's been going on for a long time.
46, 47,
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah. And you worked through your trauma with the other therapists. You've worked with a lot of stuff with me. And I think that I know that you know that you're not in the blame anymore.
Yeah.
And I know you know that. So there's no reason to everything that goes wrong blame you. I mean, yeah, sometimes we do things and it's our fault,
Yeah.
but not everything is. And whenever you're having those thoughts, like, is this really something that I need to blame myself for? I think that's the first thing you need to do, right? Is rethink the whole thing.
Yeah. Very similar to what's my part in it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that you just need to cognitively restructure that thought. All right, Bob, let's see. We got, what, 3 more?
Yes. 3 more.
What's the next one?
Personalization.
Personalization.
Yeah. It's me. This one had a big highlight. Basically, everything centers around me. Go into a room, everybody's looking at me, everybody's making comments about me, everybody's judging me. That's
Prime
where the-
example
over-
is Macy.
Mhm.
When you see Macy,
Yeah, that was the prime example. That's what it hit me.
so how did you restructure that thought? Because you said the next time
Mm-hmm.
you seen everybody, it's like
Yeah,
totally
I
different
just
thought process.
just the way I restructured it was, who cares?
Nobody was judging you.
No one's talking about me. If they are, then who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, how's it affecting you right now?
Exactly. And nobody was talking about you, so it definitely is not gonna affect you. I
Mm,
mean, and if somebody was talking about you, why would you let it affect you?
yeah, and I think huh, I grew up in an environment like that, to where, especially my mom, had to know every single little thing about me, and she still does.
Not as bad.
Was that
Not as bad though.
not as bad? Case in point, my mom goes to the or the Ascension on South Lake Boulevard, calls it her gym. She does aftercare there. She went through last week, gave me a call, said, "Hey, I just went to the gym. I want to let you know." I'm like, okay, good for you. I'm glad you're finally getting back. You need to. Because of all her health issues. And she said, well, everybody there misses you and wishes you were still there and blah, 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 and this and that. I'm like, okay, well, that's nice. I'm glad to know that they miss me, you know, working with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday afternoon, I don't know, about 4 o'clock, I get a phone call from her, and I'm thinking, okay, why is she calling me? I just saw her yesterday. What's going on? She was like, oh, I just want to let you know I just got back from the gym again today. And I'm like, okay, good. I'm glad. She was like, and the funniest thing happened. So-and-so came up to me and said, hey, I haven't heard how Chris was doing after his car wreck. Is he doing okay? She was like, how the hell did he know about that? She was like, well, I was just wondering. It was on a Thursday. I was supposed to work Friday. Tina told my boss that I would not be in Friday. That I was in the hospital. Oh, good. She didn't tell him that you were incarcerated that night. I'm like, she was like, okay, well, that's what I was afraid of. Mom, she was like, well, I still understand how he knows. Mom, Aaron probably told the staff that I was in a car wreck. That was his prerogative, not mine. What he said to them, I can't control it. I have no idea. She's like, oh, okay. So yeah.
I'm getting ready to put this on silent. I'm sorry that went off.
That's okay. So, yeah.
So give me an example how you will do that.
I will do that by, I used to do that by having to know exactly everything that's going on around me.
Okay.
Had to be in the know about everything. When I owned a business, that was good. It allowed me to know what the hell was going on, but I didn't have to micromanage.
Okay.
I knew what was going on. If it was bad enough, then I would say something to the employee, say, hey, listen, this is what I'm seeing is going on. You need to take care of it. If it wasn't anything major, then just let it go. But when it comes to outside of work, this is a great place to practice.
Here?
Yes. It's a great place to practice. I can sit around, I can hear things going around, and I start hearing a conversation because I don't know why I can do this, but I can be talking to you. If there's like 3 other people here talking, I can tell you exactly what all 3 conversations going on while I'm talking with you. I don't like it. It doesn't feel like I'm actively listening.
Okay.
So I'm really trying to focus just on who I'm speaking with instead of having my ears like a bat and hearing or an owl or whatever all over the place. processing all this other different shit going on in my head. But yeah, I mean, obviously there are things that go on around me that affect me. Why do I want to know? Why do I need to know? Or why do I need to get in there and find out all the juicy gossip and this and that? I don't. Reminds me too much of my mom.
So you said you're practicing here, so that's good.
Yeah, practicing here and then again, being out in public. Yeah, I mean, that was one thing. It just seemed like I had a radar going on. Anybody I was passing to pick up in their conversation. It's like, oh, why am I doing that? I don't need it. No. But the other thing with personalization is comparing how well I'm doing. I did this a lot with work. I had to be the best PT. So I would, somebody would come in and try to teach a new technique and this and that. I would always try to find variations to make it better.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to be better than this individual, even though, he was the instructor. That's weird. Competitive, I guess, or something.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what that was. Hey, this probably leads back to Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you mind if we finish this next week?
Nope. I do not mind one bit.
Very good. I love it. I know the one thing that most of those distortions so far that we went through have been leading back to your childhood.
Looking back at it, when I was doing this, a lot I would lean back to trust. A lot of the trust issues I had in childhood, as well as fears.
Yes.
Childhood. Yeah. So, and they just manifested and snowballed.
Yeah, and these are these illogical thoughts that we have about ourselves and about others is something that we learn throughout life. Most of you learned when you were a child and how to think. But the good thing is that you can unlearn them too. I mean, and like you said earlier,
Like tomorrow?
No, not tomorrow. Darn! It will. It's going to take some time for some of those. I mean,
No, yeah. Like I said, I find that if I slow my thinking down and my speaking, I can typically catch myself using, especially a lot of the absolute terms. Because I have a bad habit of doing that. I didn't know myself much. I would do it.
yeah. I mean, I'm sure that in my early recovery, I did that a lot with all those still, and didn't recognize them until somebody pointed them out. But it took time with me too. I mean, we know recovery's something we have to be patient with, and then a lot of hard work put in it.
Good.
Yes, we'll go over the rest of them next week, and also I want you to start journaling, please.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you need to sit down and write down your thoughts.
Will do.
All right, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
I appreciate you.
Thank you very much.